Welcome back to Island Tea with your faves, Kevon and Azem featuring Jade Johnson, and it's time to jump into Eat Local with two very special guests in studio with us, and I would like them to actually introduce themselves, because I don't want to take the spotlight away. I know it's hard to do that, but in the presence of this one, it's possible.
Well, thank you guys for having us here. Good morning to everybody out there in radio land. Internet land. I'm Atiba Harris, former national team player and current SKNFA presidency candidate. I'm looking forward to doing good things here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
And good morning. My name is Inspector John Borgan. I'm the current manager for the security forces, Polstars FC. And I'm one of the candidates that will be on Atiba Harris' team.
Okay, so it seems as though
Bring the squad.
He in here.
bring the squad. So okay, so what is happening, based on what you've said already, is that you're in a position now where you are contesting for the presidency of the St. Kitts Nevis Football Association.
Yes, so we spoke last year. So this is basically a follow-up on what we're trying to accomplish. My playing career is now over. I've expressed that to the public in St. Kitts and Nevis and worldwide, and now I'm looking forward to contesting the presidency of the SKNFA and to help move football forward.
Well, I mean, you have given so much to St. Kitts football as a player, and it's good to see that now that portion of your footballing career is over, that you're now looking into continuing to contribute to development here in St. Kitts Nevis. And what are some of the ways or some of the programs that are, let's put it this way. Tell me about your platform and the things that you're passionate about. If you were to become the president of the association, what are some of the things you would like to institute or see develop?
Well, first of all, I mean, we're going through a pandemic, and it's very strenuous on people, on our people, much less the clubs. So sure. it's a difficult situation right now. And one of the things we exclusively gonna do is reset football by increasing the grant across the board, give every club an equal opportunity to get our programs and their programs in place, up and running, so that way we can have a level playing field and implement everything that we're trying to accomplish, which is raising the standard of football here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Also, opportunities for players, coaches, and administrators, referees alike. We gonna ensure that happen for our people and getting our people in good positions or in positions where we can make an influence and an impact, not just in St. Kitts and Nevis, but in the region.
Well, I mean, what I'm hearing is that you recognize that as much as a nation, we have demonstrated that we have extremely good football talent, that there is scope for even more improvement, more development across the board, because you mentioned not only just the players, you mentioned administrators, coaches, referees, and all of that, which all play into this whole bigger footballing picture. What are some of the ways that you think, as it stands now, are some of the things that we really should be doing that we are not doing?
Well, if you look at it, talent is never an issue here. We were blessed with talent.
Sure.
I mean, for the size and everything, we have numerous talented individual, educated individual, but we lack consistent programs. Over the years, you notice that a tournament's coming up, teams just getting prepared maybe 2 months before, sometimes less. And after that tournament, there's nothing. So you always have to reset and do it all over again instead of having continuous programs running. So when these tournaments come up, our players, our coaches, and everybody involved are prepared. And this is what we've been lacking here. And I mean, we shouldn't have any issues. I mean, we live in a tropical climate. We don't have any major weather issues, minus hurricanes and all that. So I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have running programs.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that you're not even just talking about, for instance, the senior men's team. I mean, there's the women's game. There's youth programs. Some of these things that can, like you said, run continuously year in year out, and really provide a real system for national football development over time. We now see what's happening now. The Gold Cup is being played. I always say that, I think the Gold Cup in itself should be a real target for us as a footballing nation to really go after, and hopefully, within the next couple of years, really stamp ourselves on that competition. Is that something that you guys, because one of the things for me is having realistic goals that the nation, the association, like the whole football fraternity can aim towards? What are some of those goals that you think that we can look forward to, things that we want to achieve going forward, if things are put in place?
I think if you look at the current landscape, I think we spend so much time looking at the senior level and forget about the junior level,
right,
in both male and female. If you look around the world, we have talent, and at the young age, everybody is on a level playing field. Mm-hmm. It's when you get to senior level, you start to see the separation, because other more developed countries might have running programs in place, more financial resources, and the back end, more expertise, So if we start focusing and being realistic, focus on our youth development programs, I think we can get to major tournaments within these age categories. And consistently making these youth tournaments and youth programs running, we will eventually get to that senior level, which is qualifying for the Gold Cup, which I think is a realistic goal for us.
Right. Yeah.
On both sides, because FIFA and CONCACAF are going to start implementing programs. They already started implementing programs geared towards pushing female football further. And I think we have a lot of talented females here. Mm-hmm. And, Jade, I have 4 daughters.
Oh,
and they all play.
I thought you were recruiting Jade.
I don't know what it is, I can't do that.
You might be a manager, you never know.
Opportunities.
Yeah.
Man, it seems as though there's vision in the team. But I want to hear from some of your colleagues about their view of what role they could play, some of the things that they'd like to see. If your guys' bid is successful in regards to the upcoming elections.
All right, I will start first. For me, I have been in football basically all my life. Played at the primary school level, high school level. Got into management early. Took a try at coaching, and now I'm back in management. And Atiba and I would have engaged sometime in 2019. He outlined a few things that he would like to see happening here with football. And I bought into it. And I've been there since, supporting him. I believe that it's time that we change the landscape of football in St. Kitts and Nevis. And I believe that Atiba Harris is the only candidate in this coming election to take us to that level. And so I am in full support of him, and I would like to, and I've told him already, I'm behind him 100%. Because I have been at the executive level already with the President Johnson administration 2013 to 2017. So I know how the landscape go. And I believe that we have what it takes. This team, Atiba Harris team, have what it takes to take us to where we are to be.
All right, awesome. We have Mr. Quilly joining us here now. Mr. Quilly.
Yes, good morning to everyone. Just like John Bogan, I've been in football all my life, from a youth level all up to national level, managing, coaching as well. Now the present president of Ramsville Superstars. And the vision I see for football is what Atiba Harris have. And my passion is youth football and women football. My passion is to get the players out there through scholarships and tryouts. And as Bogan said, Atiba is the man to do that, to push that football forward. I could guarantee you within the next 2 years, we will do more than what the SKNFA have done in terms of getting players out there, scholarships and tryouts. That will be proven in the next 2 years. We have a lot of links. We have sent people out there. My personal thing is to push people out there. I have done it already, so I know we can continue to do it. So with our team, this is the team to win and carry football forward.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. In terms of providing opportunities for footballers, we see, as of right now, there's a discussion going on between at least some of the Olympic athletes and a call for more support from the organizing committee. We've had some footballers in here as well who would have stressed that that particular issue is something that they as well feel is something that needs to be addressed. The support and making more opportunities available. It's obvious that you guys share the same view. How does that look moving forward? The opportunities, providing those opportunities, and how does that then help to aid in the overall development of Sengis football?
I think the opportunities will definitely be something that comes out of our camp, because, well, for me personally, I've been playing soccer or football in the US for close to 2 decades. I've accumulated numerous contacts, owners, coaches, etc., and our players, staff, coaches, technical bodies, everybody gonna be provided with these opportunities. But on ground, I think we need to do more for our local players. Not just physically and not just getting them contracts, but also supporting them mentally and psychologically.
Sure.
Because I remember in 2011, 2012, I was injured. I had 3 surgeries, and I was in a professional environment, but I was still struggling mentally because not being able to do what I love. And still having to try to support my family, be there for my family. So imagine a player getting injured. I mean, one of our national players got injured in 2019, and he's still yet to get surgery to get back on the field.
Yeah,
so these are the things. Nobody knows what he's going through mentally, psychologically, but he might be a cast off. He might not even play football again. And these are the persons we need to start supporting more, because here's a player who got injured on a national and playing for the national team, national duty, and yet to have surgery almost 2 years later. We need to support these guys.
But I mean, even thinking about that situation, and I'm familiar with the footballer, and of course we all hope that he recovers and is back on the pitch sooner rather than later. But is there a situation now where health insurance at least is provided to national players? Is that something that is presently instituted?
Yes, there's currently an insurance scheme that's in place, but I think we can all agree that it needs some enhancing, and we'll push to enhance that and ensure that our players, not just players, but the office staff, etc., are provided with insurance that's adequate to their need.
Yeah, I think that's very important, because we have to recognize that there are some inherent risks that come along with playing the sport, and recognizing that things really should be in place to protect as much as possible in the event that that some of these things happen.
Yeah, and it's difficult to ask our players. A lot of our players come from humble beginnings, and some of them might not even be working, and it's difficult to have them to get money, take money from their pocket to go and front it, and in return wait maybe 2-3 months for reimbursement. It's difficult, especially in a time like this.
For sure. So I know, Atiba, you are a former national player, and you would constantly speak to other players, and they may not be national level, but they're still players in and around St. Kitts and Nevis. What are some of the constant complaints and things that they have been telling you that they would like to see improve, change? What are the things that they have been saying that they would like to see in place to help them as players?
I think taking the football back to the community, that's one, because you'll ensure that more people are involved. families coming from as far as the base empires, etc., it's difficult for them to come to Bastille every single time. In traveling from Nevis,
Right.
I mean, imagine taking the boat 2-3 times a week. You know that it's going to add up, and I think so, not giving the opportunity to represent their country. That's one of them. That's one of them. You hear a lot of players when I talk to them, are not winning it for me. So I mean, playing a ball, I ain't gonna try to look a walk.
Right.
You know, and we want to ensure that our top players stay in the game, and even when they finish playing, they have something to look forward to, whether it's coaching, administration, or referee. You got a lot of different things you can do within football.
Right.
Well, I mean, one of the things that has been discussed at length for years now, as it relates to Sengis football, is the development of the leagues itself. Do you think that there is scope here for the league to develop into even, let's say, a semi-professional league, where we could have some of those same opportunities you're talking about be even more prevalent for players?
Yeah, I think eventually we'll get to that point, but now I think the clubs need revenue.
Right.
The clubs definitely need revenue. It's unfair for clubs to bring their fans, rally, and try to get their fans to a football match, and then the clubs walk away with nothing. So imagine you're paying transportation, you're getting water, you're doing all these other things, medical supplies and all this, and then you go in the park, you win a game, and then you go home with what? Just the victory and nothing for your club. You
Right.
win a championship. If you win the championship, I think the current price in the Premier Division is $50,000. But yet, if you don't win the championship,
Yeah.
what's in it for your club?
Right.
Your club don't gain any revenue, and those are some of the things we're trying to change. You look at the first division, the female, it's almost laughable, because I think it's what, $6,000 or $5,000 to win the championship.
Wow, for
Yeah,
entire
it's
season,
not-
if you win.
Yeah, so you're playing a full season, and that's all you get. So I think more emphasis need to be placed on providing the club's revenue. And if you look at the flyer that we presented, we'll ensure that 50% of the gate receipts, once things get back to normal, and if we have to do stream games, whatever we collect from those, we'll do the same thing in providing the clubs with the revenue, the adequate revenue, so that they can sustain their clubs and in return help their players and staff. Because sometimes we don't want the players them going around begging a man for boots
Right.
anymore. You know, the club supposed to be able to provide that. You know, so these are the things we need to empower the clubs. So we'll be there, we'll give them financial and structural support, and also have consultants from the SKNFA, once elected, to go around and help develop the clubs. So we're not just throwing money at the clubs and say, hey, here's a lot of money, and
Right.
that's it. You try to figure it out. No, we'll help the clubs. We'll assist the clubs in getting them to where we think they should be at, in raising the standard of football here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
And that's what I'm getting from everything that you guys are saying, that the overall vision has to do with raising the standard, and the way to do that is by making some of these changes, not just financially, structural, like you're saying, administrative, to try and get us to where we know we can be. What do you think would be some of the major challenges of you achieving these goals, even if elected? Is there support from overarching organizations, FIFA, for example? Is there adequate support from the government as it stands now? What are some of the challenges that you foresee to reaching your goals?
I think one of the things I've been hearing, people saying I don't have experience, but look, it's not just about me. Look at here. You know, there's experience around me. So, I mean, I'll have the guidance of these individuals, and along with the other members of the team, which we're going to reveal shortly. And I think right now we definitely need support from the private sector, and I think we're going to get that. We've already reached out to a number of companies, and they've already assured us that they're willing to come on board, and it's just to get the ball rolling and be successful at this election.
Yeah, all right. So, and exactly when are we looking for this election to take place?
It's the 2021 SKNFA original ordinary Congress is scheduled to be it's on the 29th of August, 2 p.m. at the Marriott Hotel.
Okay, so we have just over a month to prepare and get ready. And from what you're saying, the vision is there, and you're now putting your team together. Some very experienced guys along with you, and so I'm pretty sure that it's going to be. I think you guys have a real chance
I think so
at
too.
at being successful at the upcoming Congress.
Well, I'm confident. I'm confident with the team around me, and we've put together a very diverse team, experience, youth, females, everybody is around. So that way we can keep each other grounded and keep each other motivated at the same time, and ensure that the whole of St. Kitts and Nevis, when it comes to football, have the full support in raising the standard here that we deserve here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And my colleagues can attest to that.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to say something?
Yes, I just want to expound a bit on what he was saying. Our aim is to raise the standard in football through education, tryout, college, scholarships, and most importantly, making the club stronger. Because if you have a strong club, you have a stronger FA. So we just cannot focus on the FA itself. The focus have to be on the clubs. Invest in the clubs. Because once the clubs become stronger, the FA becomes stronger. So we have to support each other.
Nice, definitely. And I like that approach, the approach of really supporting and empowering the clubs as it stands now, because the truth is, they are the ones who really garner the support behind the footballing community. They're the ones who bring in talent. They're the ones who create this atmosphere of support around footballing in St. Kitts. So definitely having the support of the clubs and raising supporting the clubs themselves and empowering them is definitely a good approach to take.
Because Azem, it's time now that it's not just coming to a football match anymore. We're gonna make this thing an event, because the fans deserve more. Not just come and sit down in the park or sit down in any venue and watch a game. No, we need tailgating. We need some excitement before the game. So if a man want to have a drink or something before the game, barbecue and everything, come hour, 2 hours before the game, have a good time, and then you go into the facilities and support your team, your respective team. And then after that, you might even, depending on the result, some might be mad, some might be happy. Right. But we want to ensure that the event, the overall aspect of football, is centered around the fans, so that way we can have a proper atmosphere at every given event.
Okay, you see, that is something I could fully support. Being someone who has been to football events, in different parts of the world and in different sporting events, you recognize that a lot of times we focus on the players and thing, and what they do is very important and thing, but the fans are the ones who make it what it is. Like it's a spectacle to behold, and I think that we have fans here who have that same level of passion for the teams and for football on a whole, and giving them the opportunity to express that in the ways that you're talking about. I think that would be a great lift for everyone involved.
Yeah, just imagine, going back to taking the football back to the communities. Just imagine, most of the games are playing in Bastille right now. Just imagine a game playing down in St. Paul's, Newtown Village versus St. Paul's. An elderly lady might not come to Bastille, but the elderly lady might find a way over there, even if she got to call.
Right.
She don't come to the game because it's just walking distance away. Yeah. And she's going to be there to support her team, whether she into football or not. And these are the things we want to bring back for football here in St. Kitts and Nevis, where the community is involved again.
Well, I think that especially there's some communities that are very much centered around football, and the football plays a very big part in the community. And so given the opportunity for some of these games to be played either in the community, closer to the community, I think that goes a long way. And as a matter of fact, like we see in some of the other countries and things, that this is the case. We see even economics developing around football in those communities, around the stadiums, around the play fields. So I think that is even some way that it could impact the communities more than just giving people more of an opportunity to see the games.
Yeah, and I think another thing is the marketing, because if you look at it right now, a lot of our youths don't know our national team players.
That's true.
And we need to change that. Let's look at guys like Deco, Kayamba, Mem Keynes, these guys who played back then. I don't think any of our youths remember these players.
Wow.
And that's embarrassing for me.
Right.
I think we need to change that. We need to ensure that our players, our past players are recognized and also given the support, whether it's financially or just the moral support. Have them around, because that's how we develop the culture,
Right.
and develop everything. We need to have these people around football. Football people need to be around football. And another thing, we need to bridge this gap between St. Kitts and Nevis. We need to have games in Nevis too. The national team not supposed to only play in St. Kitts. We need to have games over in Nevis as well, because Nevis is a part of the federation.
A national team.
Yeah, it's a national thing, and we need to ensure that everybody is connected. And when St. Kitts and Nevis is playing, Nevisians and Kittitians coming together to rally behind our national team.
Right. That's a huge point. And we've seen this kind of culture where it's kind of like, man, football is St. Kitts thing and cricket is Nevis thing, but we have so much footballing talent in Nevis as well. And I really do like the idea of having both islands really rally and come together supporting the national efforts. In this case, we're talking about football, but that is something that's definitely needed, and hopefully we could really develop in time.
Because look at this too, you think it's fair? I'll ask you this question: for a team or club like Bath United to play all their games in St. Kitts,
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
it would be a total different mood if Bath United are playing their games over in Nevis.
Yeah.
Right.
And then they get their local support.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and just to expound on that, I mean, the more football you play in Nevis, the chances are you more footballers, youngsters going to want to play football.
That too.
Because you got to remember, the youth is our future. So we can't ignore them. We have to have a good structure. I mean, I know I grew up in football. I'll fall in love with football because I went to the park one day and I see 2 days and play football. And from ever that, I was hooked on football. So imagine you're the icon in St. Kitts. You go to Nevis, the youngsters see you, they come out to a football game, they meet you, right in there, and then they hook with football. So we have a full future footballer. So we have to look at that. We have to carry the game in the community. Because, as you said, every youngster could come to town. I know you have it in your program, put the grassroots in the country. So you'll have a youngster come out and play see grassroots football and fall in love with it. Because you got to remember, we have challenges out there and we have competition. St. Kitts' number one sport is football. We want to keep it that way. And to keep it that way is to invest in the youngsters and make sure they get access to football.
Yeah, because I don't think it's fair for a lady from there to come to Bastille for a grassroots program and then have to wait in town for her child to finish 2 hours later or something and then go back.
Exactly. And grassroots, in my opinion, needs to be free. No child in St. Kitts needs to pay to come to the grassroots. For a national level, it needs to be free.
No, given that there's funding available for these programs. So I don't think any child in St. Kitts or Nevis should ever be paying for a grassroots program at all. That the SKNFA is hosting.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and listening to you guys, it seems like y'all have plans for the fans and for the players and all of that. But another concern that was brought up by a listener is the fact that a lot of the fields need proper maintenance. They lack lighting and the fields need leveling and all of that. Do you guys have plans to address this issue as well?
Yes, there's project funding available for the upkeep of facilities. If you notice here in St. Kitts and Nevis, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis own all the current facilities here. We've already reached out to the Minister of Sports about collaborating to ensure that our football facilities, are upgraded and adequate enough so our players could perform their duties, because we no longer want to see a man making a 5-yard pass and the ball just bumping up and all that. Man complaining and the field mashing up boots. We need to go away from that. This is 2021 now, so I think it's about time. St. Kitts and Nevis is a beautiful place, and we have the most field per capita in the region, and we need to ensure that the fields are adequately prepared and ready so that we can have proper football being played.
For sure, guys. It's really interesting to hear everything that you guys are saying, and we have upcoming, like you mentioned, next month, the Congress. I want to wish you guys all the best in your efforts. It's interesting to hear, all the perspectives from you guys. As somebody who fell in love with football, my experience was my uncle took me to the park, and it was actually Kayamba's first game at like 14 years old, and from then I was in love with football. And I think we were playing Saddlers at the time in the park. And these are the things that really help to shape me as an individual, and I don't think people understand how much football impacts persons, impacts the community. And it's really good to see that you guys are putting together a team that seems to have that in mind, and really looking to continue to raise the standard of football here. Any last words before we wrap up the interview?
As I remember you're the first player I ever seen playing in glasses, yeah. When you played Newton Primary School.
Newton Primary School, yeah.
It's not like you're playing.
Long time, small days.
Man, but I would like to thank you guys for having us here. I'll encourage the club to support our team in this upcoming football election, and we look forward to moving St. Kitts and Nevis football to another level, raising the standard, as we say.
For sure. Anybody else wanna say anything before we leave?
Yes, I would just like to ask all the clubs and the fans and everybody to put their support behind Atiba Harris' team. It's an experienced team, it's well versed. We have people from all areas, men, women, youth, youngsters, everything. And I think this is the team to push football forward. So we're just asking for your support.
Inspector?
Well, I am here to support Atiba and the team, and to represent all the clubs. Whether they vote for us or not, we are approaching this thing holistically, and we just want when the Congress come, we just do what we have to do and then start to push football forward. So, yeah.
Well, man, thank you guys for coming, and again, all best wishes for the upcoming election. We look forward to hearing the results of that, and if you guys are successful, also feel free to always come back,
Of course.
and have a conversation with us here on Island T. Personally, like to thank Atiba for everything you've done for St. Kitts football. Congratulations on an incredible career. We're now looking forward to what you're going to do right here in St. Kitts as it relates to football, and whatever else you choose to get into, because I know this is not the end for you. It's probably just the beginning, our start of a new chapter.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. But guys, it's time to head out. To go home. You gotta go home. You gotta go home. We got things to do.
I got things to do, but I didn't come home.
But guys, it's been an amazing day. Really appreciate you guys logging in, all the guys on the live. We're having so much comments. A lot of the people, as a matter of fact, somebody didn't tell me, give you all the number and so y'all reach out. I don't know what that about. But definitely all you guys on the live, all the people who called in earlier today, all the people who log in daily, we really appreciate you. All the people who log in just to tell us all the things we're doing, like, but keep doing it. We love it still. But remember, if you want to join the community online, you could check out WINNMedia SKN on Facebook and YouTube. Also, you could check us out on Instagram at ILNTSKN. Don't hesitate. Join the community, like, share, comment. Let your friends know what's going on. I don't tell her if I boss don't pay ILNT in the morning, quit.
I suggest that they should.
Yeah. I guess you could do that. You could do that.
You can't forget that.
Yeah, suggest that he or she puts it on. Yeah, that's probably a lot less messy.
Yeah.
But before we leave, we gotta hear from the man himself, the Prosecco Papi, the Duke of Frigate, the Pope of Hygiene, the Chapstick Don, the Slim God, the man himself, Kevon Hanley.
You know, that's a little bit embarrassing, I can't lie. Atiba here telling me all the accomplishments, and look at mine. but okay. Well, you can't bring everybody a cup of tea because you's not a mug. So, see you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.